6 countries, 6 incredible journeys. Stepping outside their comfort zones.
It is not for the faint-hearted, for sure.
Our cooks will travel far and wide.
Route 7 all the way.
To find some of the most exciting food on the planet.
If you're back in the UK, you get tandoori chicken. Nothing like this.
It's beautiful. This is the best food I've had in Egypt. It's pure, it's got heritage, it's got love in it, you know.
They'll go off the beaten track.
Crocodile sausages.
Meeting extraordinary people. Exploring ways of life unchanged for centuries.
No electric blenders in the jungle. Have to do everything by hand.
Take your life into your own hands. We're on the road now.
As they travel, they'll see how the language of food transcends cultural differences.
I've never huffed on a cheese before.
And a world away from home.
This is why I love Australia.
There's no excuse for a bad pie in Australia.
This is the beginning. Where do we end?
They'll learn lessons that could change the way we cook forever.
I've been cooking a barbecue wrongly all my life. Wow.
This time, Scottish chef Tony Singh heads to India to explore the country of his ancestors.
And it feels fantastic.
He'll eat and cook his way across the region.
I'm not good at this cooking, Lark.
From the Punjabi pit stops to the tables of the Maharajas. He'll find his way to the heart of his own family's history.
I can't even imagine what hardships I went through.
And unleash his inner Bollywood star.
I'm Tony Singh. People see me as an Indian because this is the quintessential look of an Indian from the Maharaja, turban, beard, lovely tan. But I was born in Scotland and I've lived here all my life. And now I want to see if I can fit in India. I want to go and immerse myself in India and see if I can get away with it. I've been in the restaurant business for 22 years. My style of food is not curry. I'm a classically trained chef. It's always been about local produce, Scottish produce, French technique. What I do know about Indian food comes from my mum, and even she's a Glaswegian, born and bred.
The way I was chopping onions, and one of your cousins says, well, no, we don't chop them like that.
No, that's right.
You know? And there's that dish called...
But I want to find out about more than just food. My mission is personal. Every time I speak to my parents, I'm finding out something new about how they came to be in Scotland.
Everybody left everything, all their belongings, the houses, everything.
My knowledge of my family history now is about that. It's like my knowledge of Punjabi food is like that because it's vast. And this journey, this trip of discovery is going to be for both. My family story begins in 1947, when the country was divided into Pakistan and India. The partition. I'm heading to the northwestern state of Punjab, home of the Sikh religion and where my dad's family are from. And I'm starting my journey in Amritsar. I've only been to India twice in my life, and those were fleeting visits. So this is going to be a huge adventure and a chance to see if I can really fit in. This is it. This is what I expected to hit me as soon as I walked out of the airport. And it feels fantastic. Take your life into your own hands. We're on the road now. I'm just so excited. I'm here to find out about authentic Punjabi food, to see the real thing, hear the stories, find out how it's changed, how the history, how the land, how the people have shaped the cooking, the techniques, the ingredients that I call my own. I'm in the holy city of Amritsar, the spiritual home of Sikhism. It's the eve of the most important religious festival of the year, Diwali, the Festival of Lights. But after 2 planes, a hairy rickshaw ride, Come here, Bunny. Thank you. I'm cream crackered, and tomorrow I have an early start. It's Diwali, or Bandi Jor Divas for Sikhs, and I'm getting ready for the Golden Temple. My worry right now, apart from getting to the temple, to the Gurdwara, is what I'm going to wear, what shirt I'm going to wear, because everybody's going to be dressed up. It's going to be fantastic. It's you get there, it's the beginning of the year, you know what I mean? It's that whole thing of, yeah, it's a fresh start, it's good. As I join other pilgrims on their way to the Golden Temple, the atmosphere is electric. The butterflies are starting. I'm so excited, you know what I mean? It's just that thing of anticipation. It's just, you can't explain it. Wow, my childhood heroes. Wagga the Khalsa, Wagga the young Sikh warriors, and I've not met them, I've not seen them in person. Wagga the Khalsa, Wagga the Fatti. It's surreal for me. You can just feel it coming up to it, and there's just something about it. You can hear the madness behind you, and the hubbub, and everybody's coming down, but everybody's just taking their own time. They're just quieting down. They know they're going somewhere divine. As a Sikh on Diwali, this is the place, this is the centre of Sikhism. To come during Diwali, you're a lucky person, and I'm a very lucky person to be here. The Golden Temple is a breathtaking sight. It has 4 entrances to show that all are welcome, regardless of faith, gender or caste. The whole complex is sacred, and pilgrims from all over the world come here to worship. Langar, or communal eating, is a cornerstone of the Sikh faith and a major part of the celebrations. The food is free and the operation is run by volunteers. One of the greatest honours for any Sikh is to do service, and most of the work is done in silence as a sign of respect. There may be an army of washer-uppers, but that's because the kitchen will feed over 500,000 pilgrims today. To cope with the numbers, food is cooked in massive cauldrons. I've been told this one holds 400 kilos of lentil dal. Bread, rather than rice, is the staple food of Punjab, and here they can churn out over 20,000 wheat flour rotis an hour. That is one of the cornerstones of our faith. It's simple fare where everybody is treated equal. You sit on the floor, you don't care who's sitting next to you. It's always vegetarian. It's always something that anybody can afford. This is the most amazing thing about Punjabi food. It's so interlinked with the 3 tenets of Sikhism. Kirt karo, van shako, naam japo, which is honest work. Then share what you have, and then meditate on God. The Golden Temple, it's like the Vatican for Catholics. There's no other place like it. It's awe-inspiring. I've seen how the Golden Temple feeds the masses, but how do people do Diwali on a more modest scale at home? Well, I've been invited to celebrate this special occasion with a family who live on the other side of town. It's a real honour, so I'm not coming empty-handed. And in good tradition, I'm taking sweets, and these ones I've made myself because it's very auspicious. Alright, Sat Shri Akal Ji. Sat Shri Akal Ji. Alright, happy Diwali. Happy Diwali. In the Punjabi tradition, pouring mustard oil to welcome guests is a ritual. Happy Diwali. And I am indeed welcomed by the whole extended family. Sat Shri Akal Ji. I've just made that from Scotland, so it's shortbread and tablet like Buffy. So I'm here to learn something in the kitchen.
Everything is ready in the kitchen. You can go and start there.
What do you like? What's your favourite dish your mum cooks for you?
Rajma chawal.
Rajma chawal. Is that what we're making now?
Yeah.
That's kidney beans.
Yeah, it's beans.
It's going to be of rice, which is quite interesting because Punjabis, they just eat lots of bread. So this rice dish is kind of his favourite. That's what I'm going to get shown. How often do you help in the kitchen?
I don't want to help. Because I don't know anything.
But now, you see that? It makes you more eligible to get married.
माँ दी मदद नहीं करेगा
नहीं माँ दी मदद नहीं करेगा
वोटी दी कर लेगा
मैं तो क्या करूँगा, मैं नहीं करूँगा।
Okay,
Okay.
we're ready to go into the kitchen. We're making a red kidney bean curry, and we're starting with the Punjabi cooking staple, mustard oil, and lots of it. Right. So that's a fantastic tip I never knew. You can still smell the mustard oil. When it's at temperature, you won't smell it. Okay. So that's going in. So that's going to take 10 to 15 minutes to brown. Once the onions have softened, we add garlic and ginger paste. So I'm getting the green chilies, going into the magic mincer with the tomatoes, and there's only 3 chilies going in. And this gets away from the fact that everything should be hot and mad spicy. It's not. Aromatic and tasty.
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਉੱਥੇ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਹੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ
Auntie said to me, is this how I do it back home? I said, I've got a wee boy that does it for me, or a commie on an electric machine.
ਮੇਰਾ ਮੁੰਡਾ ਲੈ ਜਾਓ ਨਾਲ ਆਪਣੇ ਘਰ
Change now, you're going to be doing this, huh? And you'll find a spice box like this in every Punjabi kitchen, with the flavour essentials for most dishes. Garam masala, salt, turmeric, and 2 types of chilli. Okay, that's it ready. That's it there. And this is, so we've got kidney beans that have been soaked and cooked in a pressure cooker with 2 teaspoons of salt. Most Punjabis are vegetarian, and simple veggie dishes like this are the mainstay of family feasts. Outside, things are getting lively. But for now, I'm taking a more sedate approach to the Festival of Light.
This is the old tradition.
Yes.
Old.
Old, yeah.
These are prepared by the traditional peoples. Their job is to only prepare these lamps.
Actually, I'm missing home now, so we do the same, but it's with tea lights. And it's one of the things that the kids love doing, lighting them with me and putting them around the house. So I'm feeling a bit sad. I may be feeling homesick, but that's soon cured by the warm welcome. Diwali here is like the Christmas holidays back in the UK, filled with family, friends, gifts, and of course food. For Diwali we do the same. We have the fireworks, we have our Thai chachi around to the house.
All together like this.
This is like being from our own home. As it's a special occasion, we're having a rice dish rather than the Punjabi staple, bread. Unlike Christmas, there isn't one traditional Diwali meal, so people eat whatever they like. The red kidney beans taste fantastic and even remind me of my mum's cooking. So simple but full of flavour. Now though, it's playtime. Stand back from the fireworks, eh? 50 yards? I don't think so. And like at home, I'm only allowed the sparklers. The amazing thing today was that sense of family, sharing and eating. It's exactly what we do at home. Fireworks maybe not to that scale, but sitting down with your family, that made it so special. And the flavours I've been having at home, it's true Punjabi flavours, and they're the same here. I think that's one of the things that's made me connect and feel at home. After last night's celebrations, I can't believe I'm hungry again. But it's not surprising. Everywhere I look, there's delicious food. Bear by me. Just seen an elephant, somebody nearly getting squished at the roundabout, and this is before breakfast. But that's what I'm here for. I'm on Lawrence Road, I'm starving, and I want to find out what we have for breakfast in Punjab. And I've been told there's a cracking place just round the corner. See that? Look at that. Right, so that's a dough, but he's stuffing it with lentils. So he's making puria. It's deep fried bread. In the undergate, it's a vegetable tail. Clarified butter. Wow, look at that. The puria breakfast, that's the kind of just added in. This is the thing that you have for breakfast, eh? Oh, they're okay, thank you. Best place to get puri chana is Khana Sweets, just there. So that's where we're off to. No need for a menu here, there's only one thing on offer. And this is what it's about, puri chole. This is what they have for breakfast. That's what I call puri, thank you. That's the aloo sabji potatoes, and that's the chole, that's the chickpeas, sliced onions, and pickle. That's feather light, you should feel it. It's just... That's lovely. The chickpeas melt in your mouth. Wow. So this is it, bread. Most people think Indian food, rice. North of India, the bread basket of India. In Punjab, we have all these different breads. Puria, rotia, romali, rotia, naans. And you eat them with your fingers. This is your implement, there's no forks and knives. This is what it's all about. You only pay 35 pence per puri. The rest is all you can eat Punjabi style. And the refills keep on coming. So you either have to eat quick, get out, or I'm going to have to be rude and say stop, but this is wonderful. Oh, that's me. Just had my first Punjabi breakfast. You can still feel the clarified butter dripping down your throat. This is food to do things on, not sit around an office. Just as well, I have a packed day ahead. First, I'm off to look for my ancestral home, the house that belonged to my great-grandfather. In 1947, after over a century of colonial rule, Britain gave India independence and split Punjab into two, India and Pakistan. The area around the newly created border was volatile, and Amritsar became a dangerous and violent place to live. My great-grandparents joined the millions forced to flee to the safety of Delhi, and I want to find the house they left behind. I know it's in S01E02 Gate, which is that way, but I need to get my skates on and get along there before I get mashed up. S01E02 Gate, right, so we're in the right area. I've got the name of the street, Fatehwali Gully. Hanji. Armed with some clues, I want to see how my family used to live. If I can survive long enough to find the house. That's mental. No green man, nothing. Just a brown man crossing the street. That's mad, but show no fear, eh? Done it. Right, S01E02 Gate. No street names, so I'm a bit stuck. It's time to put my best Scottish Punjabi to the test. Fatehwali Gully HC.
Yes, sir.
The foundry inside a built-up area. Tea, just... Thank you. It's 70 years ago, so they don't know where it is, but I've been asking for tea. That's Punjabi hospitality. Bildu Dora. Acha. I can't believe, well, this is it. This is where it started from. I'm a bit speechless, actually, because this is the beginning. This is my great-granddad's house. Sasha, Sorry, करना तेनू disturb करना but ऐस मेरे परदादे दा कार सी मैं परदादे दा कार सी केसर सिंह कस्बे आसन अंदर. After some explaining, this lovely family are letting this crazy Scot into their home. My great granddad was here, and during partition they moved out. They got pushed down to Delhi, and then my granddad went to Scotland, so I was born and raised in Scotland. It's just that feeling, you know. It's don't know. It's quite tingly in the tummy. You can see the changes, but they're not huge. You know what I mean? I think probably this is in its essence the same. My gran used to say they used to go across the rooftop, so obviously this has been built on, but seeing it firsthand and being told about it is so different. And even though it's changed a bit, you can still see them sitting out here. But what an upheaval for partition when India got divided in India and Pakistan to leave everything behind and get pushed down. All the refugees, it was one of the biggest movements of people ever. But most people thought they were coming back. My granddad never came back. They never came back to their house. One of the things that always goes through your head, that if the partition ever happened, this is where they've been brought up, most likely. Yeah, not a bad life. I'm grateful to his family for giving me a glimpse of how my great-grandparents used to live. Auntie, you want any photo chops today, please? Time for a memento. Got my picture taken, quite a few of them actually. Some with my head, some without my head, but I'm just chuffed. So I'm off now on another adventure. The sun might go down, but the eating and the madness never stops. You didn't see that every day, eh? Ha! Elephant, you think it'd have lights on it though? Sasrikal. 6, half 6. That's 10 hours for my breakfast if I didn't have lunch. But it's at the essence of Punjabi food to keep you going. But now I'm hungry. I'm meeting a local food blogger, Jaydeep. He's promised to take me on a food crawl of Amritsar and introduce me to a local custom called Kar O Bar. I'm intrigued. Fantastic. Thanks for talking to me online about everything.
Not a problem.
So why are you online? I was amazed, found your blog and everything. What's your passion about it?
My passion is food.
Yeah.
And I've been doing it for 5 to 6 years now.
Right.
The aim is to get beyond what the touristy spots in Amritsar are.
Yeah, and this is the thing. Kar O Bar.
It has to be shown.
Shown, okay.
Yeah,
Show me.
You won't be able to understand that.
Right.
Right?
Okay.
Let's go.
They might hold on to old traditions here, but I think I'm about to discover their enthusiasm for new ones too.
This here is now Kar O Bar.
Right.
So we are in the car.
Yes.
And here's the bar.
Kar O Bar.
Kar O Bar.
And what's this?
This is a very special Indian rum.
And why rum? Is that because of the sugar cane?
It's because it's cheap.
There you go, right of passage. Anywhere in the world, cheap drink.
Cheap drink. Start pouring.
Crack it open, okay. So, who's the unlucky person that drives the Kar O Bar?
Tonight it's going to be me.
Be you. So what, you're on soda?
I'm on soda.
Okay.
Right? Go for it.
Go for
and
it.
The key to Kar O Bar is to drink as fast as you can. Yeah.
And then
you go for your food.
Right.
Then you come back.
Okay.
Take another hit. Go out. Again. Eat some more. And repeat till...
Okay, repeat till you fall over.
Here you go.
They might not serve alcohol at these stalls, but the food is meant to be out of this world.
So Tony, now we are at Pahalwan Fish.
Okay.
And this is the go-to fish joint.
The go-to, the place.
The place.
See, in Edinburgh, you'd ask for one fish and chips, okay?
We ask by weight.
By weight?
By weight.
What
we are having 250 grams to start things off.
I like this. Punjab means land of 5 rivers, and this is a freshwater catfish. Okay. It's a bit like cod.
And with a bit of salad on the side.
White radish. And what's in the chutney?
Chutney is a mint chutney.
You can taste the fish.
Yeah.
You've got a little bit of heat. This is fabulous. This going place to place is like tapas, okay? But this is not, because you're drinking, you're taking your own drink.
Yeah.
So you're not going to the bar for the nibbles. You're taking your bar to the nibbles.
Right.
But who does it?
It's a way of getting out of home. Everybody does it.
Yeah.
And
So it's not about cost.
no, it's not about cost. It's not about cost. Cost is the least concern.
Okay.
Because this is not a cheap fish which we're having now.
Right.
Right? It's just that the beauty of the food is what gets you out of the house. See, like this guy, he makes only fish.
Yes.
And you'll be wanting now maybe some meat. But this guy doesn't do it. So you move to the next place.
So you have to move.
You have to move.
I'm ready.
You're ready, right? So the fish is done.
Fish is done. Now
we look for some birds.
No, not those sorts of birds. Tandoori chicken is a Punjabi speciality, skewered and cooked in a traditional wood-fired oven, the tandoor. And Jaydeep is taking me to the place to try it.
This is advanced karobar. This is now Karo restaurant. Now the food is going to be served right here to you.
Drive through.
Drive through, exactly.
Where from? My mouth's watering already.
Thank you. So Tony, this here is the tandoori chicken of Amritsar.
Wow.
This is the green mint chutney.
Green mint chutney. So tender and so succulent. If you're back in the UK, most restaurants, you get tandoori chicken, nothing like this.
Okay.
Gas ovens.
All right.
You've just lost that flavour.
Wow.
So is this why they still use wood? For centuries, and that's why they stick to it?
And basically you can taste it.
You can, that's the amazing
That's
thing.
the beauty.
I heard a story about the metal rods used to be swords.
I don't know if it's myth or how true it is. How tandoori cooking came into India and more into the Punjab.
Right.
It was on the back of the Afghan invaders.
Right.
They used to carry their own tandoors.
See,
with
that's
them.
how good it is. That's how it's lasted through the ages.
Yeah, and each guy would skewer onto his sword whatever meat or poultry and
cook
put
it
it into
themselves.
the tandoor.
Amazing.
Right.
After we've had this, to finish off karobar, what would you do?
Karobar ends with sweets. These guys have their own dairy farms and their own full-fat buffalo milk.
Punjabi cuisine uses a lot of dairy, so what better way to finish the night than with this solid, buttery cream with fruit made from super rich buffalo milk. Wow, 50% fat, and it tastes fantastic. Karobar, what an idea, eh? What a concept. I love it. Going out, shame for the designated driver, but the bonus is the food. One person doing one thing just right, and then you go to the next. I think it's a fantastic idea. I think I'm finally getting the hang of crossing these roads, but there's no way this Scot is getting behind the wheel. So I've hired a driver who's taking me in the next part of my adventure. I'm travelling on the Grand Trunk, or GT Road, down to Delhi. The same 300-mile journey that millions of Sikhs, including my own family, were forced to make as refugees. After India declared independence, the tension between different religions was high. In Punjab, Sikhs and Muslims clashed as they both scrambled to get to the right side of the border and find safe haven. 1 million people died from violence or starvation trying to reach their destinations. My first stop en route to Delhi is an hour outside Amritsar. I'm looking for a spot where the Holy Order of Sikh soldiers have set up camp. I was raised on stories about these legendary nomadic warriors, whose way of life hasn't changed for over 300 years. This is my chance to meet the Niang, the superheroes of the Sikh world. Getting to meet them hasn't been easy, but thanks to Dalbir, who's worked with them for years, here I am. I'm just in awe, because as I've been growing up, and when my granddad on my mum's side used to tell me about the Niang, the saint soldiers, the protectors of the faith, but everybody's faith. These guys that went about and looked after everybody, and they're here. Their martial art, Gatka, has been around for thousands of years. But these swords aren't just for show. Why would spiritual people and peace-loving people do Gatka?
To protect their culture and the nation, and they're always ready to fight and protect their religion.
The Nyang were rarely beaten on the battlefield, even when outnumbered. So where do they get their strength? The Nyang, they travel, they're nomadic,
Yes.
in the sense of they go from place to place.
Yes.
And me being a chef, I always go back, how did they eat?
I'm going to show you their main kitchen.
Thank you. They have set up camp in a local Gurdwara, but before I see their operation, I am being taken to the head of the order to get his blessing. Babaji was saying,
Babaji did you welcome. They are very happy to see that you are also laundry chef in Scotland. So they gave you a lot of blessings. So you're welcome.
Open kitchens with strict rules are set up each time they move camp.
They only make their foods in iron balls.
Iron?
Iron balls.
Why?
Iron.
Why?
Because it gives you the iron to their bodies. They make them like iron.
They always cover their mouths. Such respect is paid to the food that they put a piece of cloth over their mouth.
These people also not eat their food from the outside anywhere.
So it's an honor to become a Viveki, a chef for the Nyang, because they only cook for themselves. They can't even have packaged drinks, anything outside. And other Viveki, other chefs, Nyang chefs cook for them. But it's such an honor, I never knew this.
Close.
I'm not allowed into the kitchen. I'm not allowed to touch anything. Because I'm not a Viveki chef, I'm not a Nyang chef.
So this Singhs, all whatever is like 50 kg, 100 kg, they has to do it
by
with
hand.
bare hand.
Everything
So
by
they are
hand.
very big muscles, big power, like warriors.
Everything done by hand until all the pilgrims are fed. But these villagers are here for more than a free lunch. They've come to be close to their heroes, and many will donate food and money to keep the Nyang traditions alive. These days, their role may be mainly ceremonial, but they're keeping alive a way of life unchanged for hundreds of years.
So there you can see under the trees, you can imagine how in the Guru's time they were looking and living life.
Yeah.
They change their locations after every 3 days.
Every 3 days.
Every 3 days.
How are they received? How do people welcome them?
Whenever they're going one to another place, people are always waiting for them. They're
Right.
keen to see them because wherever they're going, people can be baptized by them, and people can become Sikhs, and people can learn the techniques of the martial art from them. You can see they are nearly ready to go.
ਆਪਣਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਪੰਥ ਲਾਡਲੀਆਂ ਫੌਜਾਂ ਰੱਖਣੀਆਂ ਤਿਆਰ ਬਰ ਤਿਆਰ ਸੋਢੀ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ
As a child, you had in your mind, you know what I mean? I've seen them in books, I've seen them in videos, I've read about them, but then meeting them,
ਵਿਧੀ ਚੰਦ ਸ਼ੀਨਾ
amazing, amazing.
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ
Is there a place for them in this world? Yes. It's not vanished in 300 years. I don't think I'll vanish. I think they're strong enough to look after themselves. Back on the Grand Trunk Road, I am glad I was blessed by the Nyang to protect me from the other drivers. So that's it. I would never drive on this road. It's too dangerous. That's why I've got you.
In India, 14 people kill in 1 hour.
14 people an hour die on the road.
1 hour, yeah.
That's unbelievable.
This is very bad.
No, I would never do it. You concentrate driving and I'll kid on I'm not bricking myself. We're heading deep into the heart of rural Punjab, and I can see this is proper farming country. This place is said to have some of the most fertile land on the planet. I've been looking forward to this detour off the GT road. It couldn't be more of a contrast to where I've been. Listen. Tractors, birds, lush greenness. This is the Punjab of my childhood memories, out of the movies and everything. Fields of sugarcane. I just want to grab a bit and chew it and walk through the fields, but it's not ready. Such a change from Amritsar. And the drive this morning, you can just see it, all the green, the lushness. This is amazing. This is why Punjab, the land of 5 rivers, it's fertile ground. It's always been prized as a breadbasket. Punjabis have a reputation for being skilled and hard-working. And countries from Italy to Russia actually advertise for Punjabi farmers. Wheat and other grains grow here in abundance, and along with dairy products, they form the cornerstone of the Punjabi diet. We've been on the road for hours now, and yes, I'm getting hungry. It's a perfect opportunity to see how the Punjabis do a motorway pit stop. Oh. My back. We've just got off the GT road at traditional Talba, Ludhiana. Talba is a motorway calf service station. Nothing like this is in the UK. They've been here forever. Simple food, cooked freshly. This is wood-fired. This is
fire.
traditional.
Yeah, traditional
wood.
fire. Yeah.
Can I have a look round? Is it possible?
Yeah, why not? Why? Come.
Push that.
Yeah. Come on.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I've been in India a few days, and this is the first time I've got up close and personal to a tandoor in Punjab. And it's the heat, it's 360 degrees heat, it's concave, and you have to feel the heat coming off of that. It's taking seconds to cook, and that was one of the great things with a tandoor. Little fuel, all the heat was concentrated, and the flavour you get is unbelievable. This is quintessential Punjabi at heart. This is the thing. The tandoori chickens, the naans, the breads, and everything comes out of this oven. This is what people know of Punjabi food outside around the world. This is it.
Now what do you eat?
Well, this is what I've been waiting for.
Yeah.
In dabas like this, they cook simple, seasonal food. The traditional dish of Punjab is only available this time of year, so I've struck it lucky. Green mustard topped curry, a Punjabi-sized portion of white buffalo butter, and corn rotis. This is hearty farming food that you won't find on the menu outside of Punjab. This is Punjab, the culture, the lifestyle, everything in a mouthful, eh? That is lovely. Great food. Another local favourite is buffalo milk, and this lassi is as fresh as you can get. They have real live buffaloes out back. How mad is that?
Cheers.
Cheers.
Lassi nice?
Lassi is very nice. It's sharp and it's creamy though. If we had these kind of pit stops in the M1A, we'd have a much better place. This is fantastic. Only one more stop tonight, and that's to sleep. Well, that's the plan. Me and Gurnam have rocked up in the middle of rural Punjab to one of these wedding venues that are sprouting up all over the place for a quiet rest for the rest of our journey. And yes, you can hear it. Bhangra music, there's a wedding. Tired. In my search for authentic Punjabi cooking, I've tried the food of pilgrims, travellers and families, but I've yet to find the high end of Britain's most popular cuisine. Until now, I have a date with royalty. The Maharajas once ruled the stately kingdoms across India. And it took some doing, but I'm off to see how the other half eat. I'm meeting a member of the Patiala royal family. at one of their modest country retreats. And they've given me a changing room that's, just a tad smaller than my house. So I've had the motherload. We're here to taste the ultimate in Punjabi food, rich, decadent food from the Maharajas. And I'm here with a member of the Patiala royal family. But what do you wear when you go and see a Maharaja? Look at that. Fingers crossed, I've not put too much poundage on. Hold on. Oh yeah. I thought I'd be nervous, but I'm not. He's a food lover. We all speak the same language. Lovely. You know what I mean? That'll be great. I'm nervous cooking with him though. Talking food one thing, but cooking with him. The Royal Secretary is waiting to take me to the Raja Sahib Randir Singh. Thank you very much. His grandfather, the Maharaja Bhabinder Singh, was famous for his extravagant feasts and his love of cooking. Both traditions that have been passed down through the generations. I might have overdone it with the jacket. I'm very honoured that you're going to show me, you're going to cook with me. I was very surprised.
No, I'll cook for you.
Yeah.
We cook regularly, and whenever the members of the family are together, we cook. And in fact, everyone cooks in the evening. It's much better way of spending time than talking business or talking politics. Much nicer.
So who takes control? Because obviously you still need one chef in a kitchen.
No. Everyone cooks their own dish.
Right.
You have these coal fires lit separately, and everyone has their own recipes. So it's laid out, and somebody makes a rice, somebody makes a mutton, somebody is cooking a chicken, a dal, or a vegetable.
So there's no conflict there. Everybody just does their speciality.
No conflict. Recipes come from the family.
Okay. I'm not sure what to expect, and I still feel a bit nervous in such illustrious company. Very good. But phew, it turns out the royals cook on the same traditional stoves that I've seen all over Punjab. But they do have a bonus of some manservants to lend a hand. This is what I call a kitchen. The views in it's beautiful, but a bit hot for me, I think.
A bit hot.
I am your commie chef. If you tell me what to do, I shall.
Yes, certainly.
We're cooking a rich chicken and apricot dish that's a favourite in the Patiala Palace. No surprise, the first ingredient, ghee. This royal household gets through 70 kilos of ghee a month, compared with most families who use around 2. We add black peppercorns, cloves,
and we use the bigger cardamom
and onions. Just gently frying it with the spices to get that golden brown, add flavour to the dish at each step.
This is garlic paste and ginger paste.
Garlic and ginger paste, okay. Even the royals have the basic Punjabi spice box. Okay, the chilies.
And this is red chili colour.
Just ground coriander.
Yes.
Or the simple use of spices to bring out the best in the flavour. And that's what they have to do.
And then you flavour it. For every dish you have a different spice.
All the men helping and doing their dishes. Was there ever competitions who makes the best dish?
I don't think so.
No. I won't be getting any royal gossip then, but I will be getting some royal tips.
You'll see when the bubbles become clear, you know that the masala has been cooked.
Okay. After all of the vegetarian dishes I've tried, this already feels more extravagant. And if you're going to eat meat in Punjab, it's usually chicken. The smell is just phenomenal. The Maharaja's recipes have been influenced by their links with neighbouring royal courts. Once the chicken is simmered, we add the dried apricots, which give it a sweet taste, like the curries of Afghanistan to the north. Because the apricots have been soaked, they just need a couple of minutes to cook through, and all the flavours will marry together, and that's it.
That's it.
The Patiala royals were famous for their lavish hospitality. And in the 1930s, at the height of their power and wealth, this royal household would feed up to 3,500 people a day. Today's menu includes 2 types of dal, a rich marinated lamb and yogurt, a creamy chicken pilau dish, spicy cauliflower, and our sweet chicken and apricots. the apricots and the chicken. It's that surprise of sharp sweetness. Does it remind you of your childhood, of the feast that you used to have when you used to get together?
Food is the same. The dishes were many more.
Many more?
Many more dishes. They came in a big silver salver, and there were these bowls like this, and they had 51 dishes, including the rices, at least two pulaus. So a lot of food was made there.
And your grandfather was a character?
He had 42 Rolls Royces in the garage at one time.
42?
He was very fond of dogs as well. We had a kennels in Patiala which had 1,000 dogs in them.
1,000 dogs?
He had a Rolls Royce for hunting.
Okay.
So he used to carry his dogs in that Rolls Royce at the back. Get some more.
No, honestly,
you've got nothing in the plate.
Fabulous.
This is light. You won't have to worry about it.
No. Oh, go on then. When in Rome. These days, many Maharajas have swapped their palaces for politics and business, but they still know how to put on a cracking spread, and I'm glad the recipes have survived. The dishes have been wonderful. Very subtle, delicately flavoured. You can taste all the ingredients. It was wonderful. Raja Sahab, thank you very much.
Happy that you enjoyed it.
Okay, thank you. Bye. Bye. Delhi. With a full belly and a slightly tighter jacket. The rich food of the Maharajas has definitely lived up to my expectations. But back on the Grand Trunk Road, I'm ready for the last leg of the journey. We're in Delhi, baby! The capital of India, population 22 million. As I enter the outskirts of the city, I can't help but notice health and fitness clubs everywhere. A rich diet and changing lifestyles have made India the type 2 diabetes capital of the world. Maybe it's a sign. Wish me luck. So after a week of indulging myself, and especially the Maharaja, that fantastic food, the jacket's feeling a bit tight, eh? So I thought, latest craze, body sweat, a bit of fitness, a bit of dance. I'm watching them and I'm getting a bit worried. It's more than my spoon, the light bulbs, big present, small present, fish, all that. It's a bit technical. And how are you?
I'm Anand. I'm the director of Delhi Dance Academy.
Excellent. I'm a bit worried in case you kill me dancing.
Yeah, I mean, you should not worry. It's a really chilled out Bollywood dance class.
Is this a big craze now? Is Bolly sweat the thing?
What happens in India is because Bollywood music is so popular, people want to do the same thing on Bollywood songs.
Okay.
And that's what we're doing here.
But why is there such a big increase in these kinds of classes? Because driving here, I've seen fitness spas and health clubs and everything else.
There's a lot of, general influence of the Western culture coming in. Obviously, people are getting more aware. So there are, people working in multinational companies these days. There are gyms in the companies. There are swimming pools and stuff like that. These companies have, a culture of fitness. You need to make them a regular habit for yourself.
Gently for me.
We're going to take it slow. It's a group class, so there'll be other people doing it with you.
Right, let's go.
Great, come.
The nation's waistlines might be growing, but so is its fitness industry, now worth £1 billion a year. As ever in India, the people seem to keep what they love and embrace what's new. Turns out I'm a natural. Or maybe these Bollywood moves are just second nature. Holy sweat. Fantastic, I've lost 2 stone. I'm off for a burger. While I wait for my heart rate to recover, I want to find out from my fellow dancers why this is so popular.
I guess it's because of the dating scene that has just come up in India.
This is not arranged marriages anymore.
There are,
but you prefer to be on display for a longer time
Yeah.
before you
I think
get
now we
captured.
have-
in the prison.
Now we have more love marriages than arranged marriages these days. I think love marriages are picking up more.
And is that one of the criteria do they give? I want size 0.
Every guy wants a beautiful, slim and trim, good wife, and every girl would like a hunk with six-pack.
But the way to this hunk's heart is still food. So what's hot in Delhi now?
Momos.
What's momos?
Momos are, I think, Indian versions of Chinese dumplings or Tibetan food.
Ready to go?
Yes.
Come on, excellent. The Bolly sweaters are taking me to the regular momo stand around the corner. Jatana, let you. This is the first time I've had food here that isn't the traditional Punjabi flavours that I grew up with. Vegetarian? Okay.
Yummy.
So that's the momo? And that's cooked in a tandoor?
This will be very hot.
That's the stuff.
It's like a Pandora's box. Tell us what it's made of.
You got this fantastic light dough, like dim sum. The filling, garlic, ginger, chili, onion, spices, and then you've got this fantastic chutney, vinegar and chili. Simple 2 ingredients. It's hot, but then it doesn't detract from the flavour of the momo. The Punjabis came after partition, changed the food scene completely. And now the things like the momos, that's Tibetan.
Yes.
And we made our own. It's amazing how everything keeps reinventing itself. These young Delites have got it sorted. Work hard, play hard. After a Bollywood sweat class, they're out for the best food that's on the street. And it just shows you the face of Delhi food keeps changing. Refugees from Tibet, from Afghanistan, bringing their food in and changing the culture of food slightly again. It's always going to keep evolving. I think that's what's wonderful about food in India. The traditions are going to stay the same, but they're going to tweak from whatever comes in. It's my last day, and I'm finally in the heart of the capital. Today, I will be reunited with the side of my family who stayed in Delhi after travelling 300 miles from Amritsar as refugees back in 1947. From what I know, temporary camps were set up all over the city to shelter the millions of displaced people. And my great-grandparents ended up here at the Red Fort. This was one of the largest refugee camps just after partition, with 13 million people moved over an arbitrary line drawn on a map. My great-grandparents done that journey. I can't even imagine what hardships they went through. We came down in fun and luxury, stopping to have food, and didn't even know when their next meal was coming or whether they'd make it. Imagine this full of people, tents, but you're on the road for weeks to get here, and then you're thrown into this. And that's for millions of people. We're just one family. And that dispersed the Sikhs throughout the world. But 1 million people dying in that time, I can't get my head around it. No, I can't even get my head. There's only 5 million people in Scotland, all of Scotland. But there's things to find out now, so I can tell my kids. I need to speak to somebody who actually lived through partition. I'm going to see my great-uncle at the family home that sits on the same plot my great-grandparents were given 60 years ago. There you go. That's the house. Great-granddad's name, my granddad's name, my granny's name. It's so hard to imagine that when they came here, this was nothing. This was all farmland. All everywhere out there, this was the blocks going backwards. 15 foot by 60 foot. That was it. That's what they were given. And it shows the heart of the Punjabi spirit. Look what they've built round. Look at the house. They stayed, they prospered, they travelled the world. I'm just glad to be home. My parents have flown over from Scotland for their regular visit. It feels good to see my mum and my dad. They've arranged for me to spend time with my 89-year-old great-uncle Umar. I've only met him once, and I've never spoken to him about our family history or his own experiences. कितने साल दोस्तों जो आए सो अमृतसर तो दिल्ली पार्टीशन के बाद
मैं उਦੋਂ असा को 13-14 साल ਦਾ ਸਾਂ
13-14 ਸਾਲ He got to the camps around 13 or 14. He was there for 6 years. Formative years till he was 20. I can't even imagine what it was like.
ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਉੱਥੋਂ ਆਏ ਆ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤਸਰ ਤੋਂ
So when they were coming down, it was so much danger there. This was a partition on religious grounds. Yeah, and which got Muslims were attacking the Sikhs. On the way up, the Hindus were attacking the Muslims. It was horrendous, he said. He's seen guns, bombs going off and everything. Bapuji? Bapu Tunda Singh? I asked my great-granduncle about my granddad, how he got to the UK. It was like a lot of Punjabis at the time, they went to find work and their plans were to go make a little bit of money and come back to their homes here. But unfortunately, he died in a car accident, and that's how my family, my granddad, my granny, and everybody stayed up in Scotland. They ended up there, ended up putting roots down there. So I asked my great-granduncle what he feels, because we're in Scotland, there's other people around parts of the world and everything. He says it's great, it's God's will, and it's amazing. And he says it doesn't matter because we're just one blood, and that's it.
ਇਹ ਆਪਣਾ ਖੂਨ ਹੀ ਬਲਦੇਵ ਸਿੰਘ ਜਦੋਂ ਆਇਆ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛਿਆ ਨਾ ਮੇਰਾ ਖੂਨ ਹੈ ਇਹ ਮੇਰਾ ਖੂਨ ਹੀ
It's been years since we met. But then, even then, you didn't ask these questions because when you're young, you think you've got all the time in the world and everybody's going to be there and you know it all. It's not true. I'm realising my family bonds, like my Indian traditions, are strong and that good food brings people together. My mum has cooked up a feast, and this journey has shown me that her Punjabi cooking is the real deal. I came to find out if I could fit in, and I can. I can have one foot in Punjab and one foot in Scotland, and I am proud to have two strong, independent heritages that I can call my own. I'm so fortunate. I didn't know more than half the stuff that I've been discovering coming down the same road as my great-great-grandparents as refugees. And it's my duty to tell my kids, and I can't wait to see them to tell them.
Next time.
It's a bloke's dream, this is.
In Argentina, MasterChef judge John Turode learns the secrets of cooking with fire.
Wow, look at that.
And searches for the best piece of steak in the world.
What a way to eat. What a way to cook. What a way to live.
So join John Turode as he discovers he's been barbecuing the wrong way all his life. A Cook Abroad in Argentina next Monday at 9. Next tonight here on BBC Two, Jack Whitehall and his dad can only agree on one thing, and that's which are the best bits of the series. Back Chat is next.